Hey everyone, and welcome. From the phone in your hand to the coffee in your mug, pretty much every single thing you own has been on an invisible, globe-spanning journey to get to you. Today, we're going to pull back that curtain and explore the absolutely fascinating world of supply chains. Just think about it for a second. Let's take your favorite sneakers. The rubber for the soles probably came from one corner of the world, the cotton for the laces from another, and the dyes for the color from somewhere else entirely. All of that had to be shipped, processed, assembled, and then distributed through this complex, coordinated dance. And that dance is exactly what we're breaking down today. So, to put a name to it, the whole process is called supply chain management, or SCM for short. It's really the art and science of overseeing that entire flow. It's about managing every single step to be as efficient as it can possibly be. Keeping costs down, getting the most value, and most importantly, getting that product into your hands. Now, while every product's journey is a little bit different, most supply chains follow the same basic map. You can pretty much break it down into 5 core stages, so let's walk through them. Okay, so it all kicks off with a plan. This is where companies try to guess what you're going to want to buy. From there, they source the best suppliers for all the raw materials. Once they've got all the pieces, they make the product. Next up is deliver, and that's the whole complex world of logistics that gets it to your front door. And finally, there's this often overlooked 5th step, return, which, you guessed it, handles everything that gets sent back. Each one is a totally crucial link in the chain. But of course, this journey is almost never a straight, smooth road. A huge part of managing a supply chain is really about dealing with all the unexpected problems and curveballs that can send ripples through the entire system. And one of the most classic complications has a really great name, the bullwhip effect. Way back in 1961, a guy named Jay Forrester described it like this. Now, I know that sounds pretty academic, so what does it actually mean for us? Imagine cracking a bullwhip, a tiny little flick of your wrist, right? But that creates a massive, powerful crack at the very end. Well, that's exactly what happens here. Let's say a store sees a small dip in sales and cuts its next order just a little. The wholesaler sees that and might cut their order even more just to be safe. By the time that signal gets all the way back to the factory or the farm making the raw materials, that tiny little customer ripple has turned into a massive, disruptive wave of canceled orders. So getting the forecast wrong is one kind of complication. Another huge one goes back to that 5th stage we mentioned, return. This is a whole world in itself, called reverse logistics. See, forward logistics is the path we all know, the product coming to you. Reverse logistics is the incredibly complex journey a product takes when it goes backward, from you back through the system. And we're not talking about a small problem here. In 2022 alone, the value of all the products returned worldwide was, get this, a staggering $1.8 trillion. Yeah, trillion with a T. So you can see why managing that reverse flow efficiently is one of the biggest challenges out there for modern companies. Okay, so we've covered the theory and some of the things that can go wrong. Now, let's see how this all comes together in the real world with the brands I'm pretty sure many of us have in our closets, Adidas. I mean, to say the scale of what Adidas does is massive is a huge understatement. In one recent year, they made over 400 million pairs of shoes. You simply cannot do that without an incredibly sophisticated and sprawling supply chain. So how is it all put together? As you can see from this diagram, it is not a simple straight line, not at all. Adidas is sitting right at the top, but underneath it is this complex web of different partners. Just look at how it all branches out. It's not one supplier, it's this multi-layered network of direct suppliers, agents, and licensees. And they, in turn, have their own networks of subcontractors. And this whole structure is on purpose. It gives them a ton of flexibility to ramp production up or down, to get specialized parts, and to reduce the risk of relying on just one source. It's basically a chain made of lots of smaller chains. And all these different relationships have their own strategic purpose. Direct sourcing with our main suppliers, that gives Adidas tight control over the quality of their most important products. But for a sudden spike in demand, they can use indirect sourcing through agents to find extra factory space really fast. Licensees help them enter totally new markets or product types with less risk, and all of them lean on a web of subcontractors for specialized little things like laces or eyelets. The point is, a single pair of sneakers is the result of a massive collaboration across this entire intricate ecosystem. So we've mapped out the journey, we've navigated the bumps in the road, and we've seen how it all works in the real world. What's the big idea to walk away with here? Every single thing we buy sets this massive, complex, global machine into motion. Understanding that journey, from the very first plan to the final delivery, and even the chance it might be returned, it gives you a totally new perspective on the stuff we own. It's this hidden world that connects all of us. And now you have the map. The question is, what are you going to do with it?